Good evening, everyone. Welcome to our Zoom call. It's our GoPro Zoom call, and I'm standing in for Debbie, getting this started. Debbie and Jeff, while they're in the Grand Cayman, and we gather together every Monday night here at 5:30 p.m. Pacific, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time to get some amazing training from some of these guys who have gone to the top. And tonight we get to hear from none other than the amazing Chris Harville. Yay! I'm going to turn it right over to you.
It's not going to be long, but I want to emphasize that I'm hearing a lot of people selling or doing their pitch, and to sell something or to get people to buy into this, you've got to be different than everybody else. Everybody else is selling that bottle of pills that's going to make you skinny for $29, or they're selling you this for $19. You know it's not going to work. And here we are selling something for $5.99, right? So you've got to build value in what it is that we're selling. So this is a presentation. I've done it before on a Zoom before. I think I've done it on a training call, but I want to go over it again because I do this every single time. And at first it was really on just the phone. I was doing phone presentations. And now I'm doing more person to person because we're doing more sip and samples, and we're closing 100% of the deals. I mean, we're closing everybody, maybe not right then because they got to get their money right or whatever. But and if they don't close, they're wanting to close. So you got to build value. I did a picture. I don't know if you can see it, but you guys all know the products. And it's just, this is the value pack from right to left. So I start out, when I get up, I get in front of everybody and I introduce myself. And I say, look, this is how me and Lee get our day started. We have our accelerator right here, which promotes thermogenesis and helps promote a healthy metabolism. We have Ionic Supreme. That's the powder. I usually have the drink. This may be the most popular item in our whole company because it reduces stress at the cellular level. And people with anxiety, people with high stress, my wife has anxiety. This has been a godsend right here. Everybody's stressed out. And then we have our anti-aging vitamins. I'm not going to get too deep into that right now, but you'll learn about the isogenesis, and you will learn, not us, but a third party won the Nobel Peace Prize on the study of telomere support. So this is another favorite product of a lot of people. And we actually ran out several months ago, and we all really figured out that we were missing it, okay? So we take those three, I go get dressed, imagine my body soaking it in, and then we make a shake. The shake is ice cold water. You can blend it or you can shake it, depending on the consistency you like. It has all the right proteins, all the right carbs, all the right fats. And it's the healthiest thing you've probably ever put into your body. And then we eat a snack. The snack's a bar, or we got some chips over here. A couple hours later, we do another shake. A couple hours later, we do another snack. And then you eat your sensible meal. And it's that. And then at the end of the day, we go back to our vitamins because we have an AM and a PM. And then we have a bottle called Isa Flush. And what that is just promotes a healthy digestive system. That's our day in, day out. So there's no counting carbs, there's no counting macros, there's no counting anything, there's no meal prepping. And that's what makes our system so good. You're getting all the nutrition that you need. You're getting all the right everything, and you don't have to think about it. Now, you do a couple of those days, and then you have the cleanse day. And this is where the magic happens. And I want to talk about a little bit before I get into the cleanse day. Our founder, John Anderson, he was a chemist, or I guess a chemist. Was he a chemist? He was a scientist, whatever. Anyway, he was a formulator. He formulated all these things for GNC and all these different companies. They always made him compromise his recipes with cheaper products. Well, he made a bunch of money. He retired, went and bought a big old farm. He goes to put his foot in his boot, and he got bit by a spider, a brown recluse. And you know where the story's going to go from there. He had several surgeries, got real sick, ended up with diabetes. They told him he was going to have to cut his foot off. He said no. So he went and found the ingredients and created the cleanse. And when he did that, he created the cleanse and he created the shake. So what happens is you take this cleanse 4 times a day, a half a cup. You start your day out just like the other days with the accelerator, the vitamins, and the accelerator vitamin and the Ionic Supreme. And then you take a half a cup of the Cleanse for Life. A couple hours later, you eat some snacks. I call them Scooby snacks or little wafers. A couple hours later, the cleanse again. You do that 4 times. And at the end of the day, you'll take your vitamins and your Isoflush to promote the healthy digestive system. Now, the next morning when you wake up, you can imagine your cells being all dirty. And then that cleanse goes in and it cleans them up a little bit. The toxins are going to come out from your breath, your skin, your urine. And then the next day you put those vitamins in. You put that shake in. What happens? Your cells are dancing around. How are you going to feel? You're going to feel fantastic. That becomes your life. And for 30 days, I want you to really dial in and do it as instructed, because what's going to happen, your habits are totally going to change. Because right now we have habits. We have bad habits. You go to a restaurant, you get this big old plate, and you're just chowing down. You're not really paying attention to what you're eating, and then you feel bad, and you wonder why you feel bad. Well, this is going to help you create those habits. You're probably going to start eating less. Now, when me and Lee go out to eat, we share an entree a lot of the times now because we don't eat as much as we used to. My grocery bill has gone from $160 a week to $40. You know, grocery shopping's gotten easier. Everything changes in this first 30 days. Now, after this, it's going to be like an online grocery, and you're going to buy what you want when you want, depending on where your goals are. So at this point, I'll ask the customer, or I'll tell the customer, look, I know you're going to ask me what cost is. The cost can be we got a $5.99 pack. We have 3 packs that we usually sell. We have a $5.99 pack, a $3.99 pack, a $2.71 pack, but I'm not even going to talk about that because it's really, really basic. But what I just showed you here was the $5.99 pack, and that's what I suggest everybody do. All I need you to do is trust me for 30 days, put this in your body. If you love it, you run with me. If you don't, you get your money back. That's not going to happen. Now, last night I had a customer that I did this exact same deal with. They were a family of 4, but the husband and wife were here. They already got a son, I found out in talking to them, because as you talk to them, you want to interview them. How is their family? How big is their family? How old are the kids? Well, found out they've got a kid that's 19, it's 250, and he's already on blood pressure medicine. They got another kid that's pretty witty and is kind of smart with business, so I'm keeping that in mind. So I said, look, I usually suggest everybody get on the value pack, but for you, I want you to get the ultimate pack. That's where I started. It's $1,088. And then I'll show you as a couple of weeks, that way you can both try it for 30 days. You can get your kids involved, get them on some of it. And then I'll show you how to parlay it, because we're going to put you under you and this one under here and get your kids healthy. And just like that, they signed up on the ultimate pack, and I'm going to end up turning them consultant. But it's all about showing them value and giving them value and painting that picture of who they are, what they can look like, what can happen to their kid that's already on blood pressure medicine at 19 years old. And then here I am, a former car guy, left, and I'm doing this full time. So there's opportunity to make good money here. So you got to build value. But a lot of people I know, because other companies are doing it, they're going saying, hey, you need to sign up with me. I've got a product that's going to help you lose a bunch of weight, and you can make a bunch of money. We'll get rich. That's what the amateurs do. You got to build value, and you got to get into the long game on this deal, the long game. I don't see anybody here that's over 90 years old, right? Everybody here is fairly young. So in 10 years, where are you going to be? You're going to be exactly where you are right now if you don't make a change in your habits, in your daily habits, and talking to a couple, 2, 3, 4 people a day. That's all it takes. Now me, I jump out. I built a name for myself pretty quick, got to top achievers, enrolled a bunch of people. So everybody thinks I work 24/7. I just work all the freaking time. I don't. I had to really work on me for a lot of time this first year because I had to reprogram myself. I was in the car business and got beat to death for 25 years. So with that being said, I had to reprogram me. At the same time, I had to push this business because I had a living I had to make, right? So I was doing enough and then working on me a lot of times. Literally an hour or two a day, you can achieve what I achieved in this next year. An hour a day if you're consistent and you follow up. I put a lot of people in our Amplified Health page. I followed up with a lot of people. I did this presentation from day one. It just seemed common sense to me to lay out the value pack and show them exactly what I do day in, day out. It paints that picture, and I was closing them on the phone. They just visualized it, and now I'm putting it in front of them more often than not because I'm in front of these people, and they got to have it. So be in the long game. 10 years from now, maybe it'll take you 2 years. But let's say you just go slow, but you're consistent. It took Rhonda 10 years to hit that millionaire status. Now she's clearing $13,500 a week because she maxed out a center, right? If she can do it, all of us can do it. Some of us can do it in 2 or 3 or 4 years. It may take you 10 years, but in 10 years, where are you going to be? It would be nice to have 13.5 coming in a week, wouldn't it? Absolutely. So guys, think about the long game. Get excited, get fired up, be consistent. Stop worrying about what everybody else is thinking. Stop worrying about everybody else getting in your head. Don't let the voice in your heart overtake that voice in your head, because the voice in your head will crush you. The voice in your head, when you wake up every day, you got to talk it down, because it's going to ask you, can you really do this? It's going to ask you, do you have the stamina and the toughness to continue doing this? Is it worth it? It's going to ask you all those stupid questions, but you got to have that vision. I think Kayla posted a video in our team page today about Mel Robbins. Envision what billionaires do. They envision where they're going to be. I always envision where I'm going to be. I know in 10 years, my kids do not have a financial worry in the world. In 5 years, I know exactly where I'm going to be. In 2 years, I know where I'm going to be. I may be overshooting it a little bit because I'm an overachiever, but I'm going to be headed there. In 6 months. Know where you're going to be, but you got to envision it, and then you got to take the action. You got to study in your own time. And I mean, when I first started, I was up till midnight, 1, 2 o'clock in the morning in isogenicsbusiness.com. I lived there. And when I wasn't doing that, I was listening to Eric Worre. And I was listening to Eric Worre 6 months before I found Isogenics, and that's why I'm here, because I saw Jeff and Debbie on Eric Worre's stage. And I don't know what it was. It was intervention, but I grabbed my phone and I messaged them right away, just like that. And then I found out it was health and wellness. And I was not excited, because most health and wellness companies have chemicals. Well, this doesn't. So if somebody were to tell you, think about it. Think about 4 years ago, 5 years ago, maybe last year, 10 years ago. I don't know. It depends on who you are. When you said, man, if I could just find a company, if I could just find a product, if I could just be a ground floor, if I could just do this, because I've seen other people do it and they're lucky. If I could just find that, I would run with it. Guys, now I guess nothing's perfect, but can you find anything wrong with our product? Does it work 100% of the time? Yes. If you know compensation plans at all, have you found another better compensation plan? I haven't. Have you ever found any owners better than what we have? I know a lot of you haven't met them or probably seen them in person. I've never seen owners like we have. So we got the perfect product, the perfect compensation plan in my eyes, the perfect owners, Jesus. We're 20 years old at this almost, and at the same time, we are ground floor, because around your area, you've got several 100,000 people that have never heard of Isogenics. So now you can blow their mind with this brand new product, and we can back it up with a 20-year-old company. Think about that. So now you got the perfect, the perfect, the perfect, and then the perfect. Now it's all just up to us to go out there and deliver. And to deliver, you've got to give a really good presentation. You've got to sell not only the product, but you got to sell yourself and sell that story. The spider bite story, Thomas Campbell, he's not on here, I don't think, but he was taking a canister to a girl that signed up this week. He was swapping something out with her. And she's already feeling better. She was picking us apart, but she closed up and bought it. He walked in. She was telling her coworker the spider bite story. The spider bite story sticks. It sticks in people's heads, and it makes sense to people. So I tell that spider bite story to every presentation. I walk them through exactly what my day is, what each product does, and what they're going to look like on Thanksgiving Day, what they're going to look like on Christmas Day, what they may look like next summer in a bikini or whatever. So paint the picture in their head. Know in your mind that you have the best, the best, the best, and the best. And now it's all just up to you. So if you need to work 12 hours a day on you and stay up till 2 in the morning listening to The Rock or Gary Vee or whoever it is that you have to listen to, like I did, and then specify several hours a day, 2 hours a day, 1 hour a day even, on grinding the phone. Make sure you're consistent on your post. It don't matter how busy you are. You can be consistent on your post because people are watching you. I've had so many people, man, I've been watching you for a year. I just never reached out. And I said, man, I wish you would have, but now you did. So here we go. Be consistent in your post. Be consistent in your daily action. Be consistent vision with just total strength and clarity. Envision where you're going to be in 2 years. Don't let that voice get in the way of that. Envision where you're going to be. Okay, I'm going to be making $5,000 a month. I'm going to be making $7,000 a month. I'm going to be making $10,000 a month. But think big, if you will. I'm thinking a lot bigger than that. But put that number in your head and look at it every single day. Write it down and hang it up on your wall, because if you see it, you envision it, it's going to happen. You're going to call it to action. That's really all I got. I just want you guys to think big. Perfect this in your own way. You don't have to do it like I do it, but come up with your own presentation. This is the same presentation I do if I'm talking to somebody over the phone, if I'm doing a live presentation, if I'm doing it on a Zoom presentation, or if I'm doing an open box. I got an open box later on tonight. This is exactly what I want to do. I say, oh, open your box. All right, get out your accelerator. Get out after I tell them to open up that little book and look on the next to the last page, because there's their roadmap, right? I do the same thing over and over and over again, and it works for me. So if you got one that works for you, do it. Adopt this, make it your own, do whatever you want to, but come up with your presentation and be 100% every single time, and you'll get good at it. I would incorporate that spider bite story into there because it sticks with people. And when they see that vision, and you talk about that $29 bottle of stuff is not going to be nutritious and get you where you want to be. You got to have a process. This is a process that's guaranteed to work. With that being said, anybody want to chime in, got any questions or any ads?
Well, we just want to say hello from the Grand Caymans.
I see you. Oh, I wanted to bring up, go ahead and say what you're going to say.
Nothing. We just wanted to recognize all you guys as leaders and showing up, and what a great training, because we need to take it back to the basics like this all the time. And I just wanted to welcome our newest team member. I'm putting in his order right now, Stephen Jones, to the team. He's right there. Wave, Stephen. There you go. And former martial artist, phenomenal martial artist. So Elizabeth Wells, you're going to love him. But again, great deal, and I wish each and every one of you guys were here. And that's about it. The other bald guy from Australia there, Mark Greer, what's up? But anyways, that's it. I'm going to let you guys, if anybody has any questions, go ahead. What's up, Renee?
Hey, I had a quick question, actually. For you, Chris. I like having your picture there. Let me put in my headphone here. Can you guys hear me okay? So I like that you use your picture because I'm speaking tomorrow night at a local, it's a holistic chamber of commerce kind of thing.
Mhm.
And I was debating on that because it's a small kind of quick talk. So instead of doing the table of products and being overwhelming with that being the time frame, I think the picture thing is a really good idea. Would you suggest that?
Yeah, if I do lives, I usually set one up. But you know what? I could text you this picture that I just took, and
Yeah.
you can send it to Walmart and print it off for $1 or however much it is.
There you go.
And
Yeah,
it's,
I think because I wasn't planning on having a whole table set up, and then I was just thinking about it today. I'm like, ooh, maybe I should. But I think that that's so simple
Mhm.
and just makes sense. It's not so overwhelming. So I like that.
Renee, I think it makes it a lot duplicatable, easier to
Yeah.
duplicate too,
I
instead of carrying
agree.
the products around a lot. Because
Mhm.
sometimes people get like, well, if I have a party, I got to have a presentation and I got to have all the things on the thing. And I
Yeah.
just had actually, I did a sip and sample 2 weeks ago, and one of the my prospect who was
Oh
there.
my gosh.
Hi, puppy.
Grand dog. Oh my
My
gosh.
prospect that was there was saying how, we were at my girlfriend, we hosted at my girlfriend's house, and she has a really nice house. And he was saying, I would be worried because the thought when you first walk into a nice house is this was made by, if it's not made by, like Jeff and Debbie have this amazing house and they are building their business with Isogenics. Well, this was not that case. And he was like, if I have it in a neutral setting, I feel like there's no presumptions and stuff. And he was feeling uncomfortable bringing people to like a big, nice house. And it kind of made me think about a more portable presentation that could be done anywhere. And it reminded me of what Emily Vavra said when she said she does the 45 minutes all day long at a coffee shop. And I'm like, that picture would be the best tool to use because you can do it at an intimate little table and go over it. And you don't, so that's what's so amazing about this company is that you can do it anywhere and it can be transferable and you can use these skills. Once you get these skills, you can do it anywhere and make it fit into your life. If you don't have the space to have the sip and sample, then we can tweak it to make it work so that you can actually do this anywhere.
Anywhere, and it's easy. I also wanted to touch on the leader in action formula. Have y'all got that printed off? Leader in action, because I know a lot of people don't pay attention to this. I didn't.
Wait. Chris pays so much attention to it that Chris and Lee are number 8 in leader in action. So congratulations.
All right, thank you. And you guys are in the loop too.
Yeah, I just have to share this. So he sent me a picture the other day,
Now,
right?
we've been number 1 and number 3, but he just
in the past, we're not talking about the past, right? So Chris sends me a picture and says, you guys better get going because we're number 30. He did not say, I'm number 8. No, he just sent me the picture. So I would scroll and see whose names are above us. And of course, Mr. Chris and Lee Harville are number 8.
Yeah, so we're proud. We're 100% proud of you guys. And
We are.
That shows, action creates results. So
There you go. So go ahead. Tell us all about your formula, Mr. Chris Harville.
Well, that's what I want to show everybody is that you're in Grand Cayman and I'm not. Now,
that's right, baby. That's right. You don't remember.
You're in action.
Remember that.
So apparently, those months that counted toward Grand Cayman, my cycles were stagnant. I had the other loops. You got your week set executive, personal enrollments, and personally in ranks. I had those, but my cycles were stagnant, so I blanked out. So I didn't qualify for that. With that being said, I went from not qualifying for anything, not on the list, to now I'm number 8, and I just went through a horrible September. So guys, if you follow this, you can get in the top 10 on this leader in action formula. So it may be a little too late to hit it by December, but I'm telling you, when the clock starts over again, get your momentum now, and you may get it in December. But next year's a lock if you follow this formula. It's so easy to do. And it's in the big car business, we call it manipulating the pay plan. You know exactly what to do here. The max is out at 5 right here on your enrollments. Get it, stay at your current rank every week. Don't get backed up. Promote your people to consultants and managers. I think Campbell's going to be he's going to end up being a director here in the next week or so, I think. And get your cycles moving. If you do that, you're on every trip that they have to offer, including top achievers, which is, the big deal. So print that out, look at it every day. Don't just discount it. I know a lot of people are they're not paying any attention to it because they think they'll never get it. I get it. I've been in different things before, and I didn't pay attention to the top leaders because I really didn't think I could do it. Number one, because I just was dipping my toe in. And when you dip your toe in, you kind of unconsciously know you're not going to get there. And I was dipping my toe in a lot of companies, and because I was busy doing what I was doing. But with this company, you guys shouldn't be dipping your toe in. You should be going in 100%, print this thing out, believe that you can get it because you can, and just make it happen. And God, man, you guys we have so much, we got more support than we could ever ask for with all of us. If I need somebody that does judo, I'm gonna call Elizabeth Wales or whoever. We've got somebody that's in the car business that does locks. I got a locksmith right here. Or somebody cuts hair. We got Renee. So we've got so much support in here, and we can help people. So that's all I got. Anybody want to add anything? Any questions? Nope. Jeff and Debbie, one more time.
I have something to share. So I know for me, when I think of the leadership in action form, I have a bunch printed out and they're all blank. I'm going to be really transparent because I've had a story to myself about these numbers when they show up on this paper. And I've let those numbers reflect something more than just a measuring tool, because really that's what it is. It's either I've done what I said I'm going to do or I'm not. But because I just went to UAA and had a weekend with David Wood, and he's like, event plus story equals problem. Mm-hmm. Event plus no story equals no problem. So I'm feeling like as long as I don't put a story with any of this information other than did I do it, did I not do it, it's simply an event that doesn't reflect on me as being a good leader, being a good presenter, anybody wanting to join my business, all of that negative self-talk that has stopped me in the past has nothing to do with the numbers that go on this paper. So I just wanted to throw that out there because I think sometimes it's intimidating to write something down when you're measuring yourself, because you can really make it mess with your head. And I know that's your alley, so.
Well, I'm just going to tell you, when you do enough of these presentations, I tried to recreate the wheel when I first got in here. I tried to think about all the things I could do to make it easier, because I'm always looking for shortcuts and stuff. There's no shortcut here. Just get in front of as many people as you can. Talk to as many people as you can. You have some people that don't even want to talk. They're texting. Text as many people as you can. Go over the presentation. I did a recording of me doing a presentation. So for those that don't want to talk, I can send it to them on text. I did that on ISA tools. So now they can see my presentation on their phone. And when you do that to enough people are going to sign up with you. And then you're going to find that one or two or three that see what you see. They see 13.5 a week. They see $1 million. They see the opportunity because everybody's sick. Everybody's heavy. Everybody feels bad. We've got a solution. Everybody's broke. So we have a solution for all that. So all you got to do is touch as many people as you can touch. Even when they don't seem interested, they are interested because they feel like crap, right? So get in front of as many people as you can. Do a presentation of some kind. Master that. And all it takes is doing it 5 or 6 times and you got it. Incorporate a story that's going to stick in their head. Incorporate a vision that's going to stick in their head, and they're going to want to close down. They're going to want to do business with you, and then they're going to follow the process, and then you're going to find that one or two or three that see what you see, and they're going to run with you. And it takes time, but time is what we have. So play the long game, go 100% in it, work on yourself, do the personal development every day. If you're not doing that every day, you're way missing out. And all the regular people out there, all the people that are not in network marketing, I ask them, are you doing any personal development? What is that? They don't even know what personal development is. Nobody does. So network marketing is personal development on steroids, because that's all we do. If you're not, you're totally missing out. So get on your personal development, better yourself. Let's create the vision and go 100%. That's all I got. Short and sweet.
Beautiful. And I just want to say, you know, this is a good training. Wherever you're at in the world, you know, people are watching, checking you out and everything. You know, I've had 3 people reach out today to us. One of them, Steven. You know, known Steven since he's been a little kid, getting his butt beat in karate class. Now he can kick everybody else's butt. You know, he's sitting here smiling. He knows what I'm talking about. And, you know, even sitting on the beach today, the gentleman sits next to me and I introduce myself. I say, hey, how you doing? Nice meeting you. First thing he asked me, how long you been? How long you been here? I said, we just got here. And I said, how about you? He goes, I've been here for a few weeks. He goes, I said, oh, where do you live? And he goes, well, I live in San Francisco. I live in the UK and I live here. I have three different homes. And I said, wow. And so he asked me, what do you do? And where do you live? And I told him what I do. And he said, I said, you ever hear Isogenics? He goes, no. And I said, it's about, you know, weight loss, healthy aging, energy and performance. And he went on to tell me that he's been trying to lose some weight. Showed him some picture. I have all this information. I just sent him the information through IsoTools. He's heading to the UK, so we're going to open it up in his UK address. And it shows you wherever you're at in the world, people want to know what you're doing and how you're doing it.
People want to feel better.
People want to feel better.
Yeah.
And then when it comes to the business, whenever you're traveling to like these places, when people always ask you, they ask you, what are you doing? Where do you live? And what are you doing here? And when you say you're just here with your company, or you're here and you're not sure when you're going home, they always ask, wow, what do you do? And so there's always those opportunities. So when people say I'm going out of town, or I'm going on vacation, or I'm going somewhere, this is the most beautiful business there is, because you get to network throughout the world. I mean, you know, Steven's just on here. You know, Mark Greer's in Australia. Chris Harville's in Mississippi. You know, everybody's in different areas of the world, and it's just a cool thing, you know. So anyways, that's about it. So
All right, before we sign off, what's the #1 ingredient you gotta have?
confidence.
Huh? That's one. Enthusiasm.
Enthusiasm.
Selling is the transfer of enthusiasm from you to them. And if you're enthusiastic about your product, which we should be, if you're enthusiastic about your company, which you should be, if you're enthusiastic about the opportunity, which you should be, it's easy. You know, I'm kind of quiet and I do my thing, but when I get somebody in front of me, it's on. I mean, the enthusiasm is pouring out of me, and they got to have what I got. I mean, just period. They got to have it. So let yourself go when you're giving that presentation. Now take me to a freaking concert and I'm going to sit there and be scared to death. But let me talk about my business with somebody. It's on. So that's all I got. Let's crank it out. Debbie's laughing at me. She's always laughing at me.
Because you said you go to a concert, you're just like sitting there scared. But he'll take the stage on karaoke.
In Nashville, Tennessee, he took the stage.
Crazy. And then I want to go crawl into a hole.
That was great, Crane.
He's so shy. He's so introverted.
He
Okay,
does
that's
have fun.
terrible.
All right. Well, thank you for your training
you, guys.
tonight, Chris. That
All right,
was
let's
really
roll.
good. And thank you everybody for joining in. And we just love and appreciate each and every one of you so much. And we know that best is right around the corner. I mean, every day I'm sure you're living your best life, but it just gets better and better and better. So dream bigger and bigger and put into action everything that Chris talked about, because it's not going to happen if you don't open your mouth and do it. It's just not. You can kumbaya all day long, but it's just not going to happen. You have to put action behind it. So Chris gave excellent training, and take that to heart and run with it.
Let's give it up for our leaders.
Give it up for all of you.
Thank you.
All
All right,
right.
let's unmute and scream it like you mean it.
Love you guys. Have safe travels. Have fun.
Who's got the
Thank you.
Thank you, Chris.
Hey, guys.
Who's
Chris.
got the unmute button?
Chris, you've got the unmute button.
unmute everybody so we can, scream it.
Here we go.
Unmute yourself. Everybody unmute yourself.
All
Oh,
right.
that works too.
Okay, here we go. Go ahead, Chris. Take us out.
We
All
on?
right, let's go. On a 1 and a 2 and a 3. I said it.